All right. So, good evening. Hello. Happy Wednesday. It's good to see you. I am super excited about this. We're doing a flip through, first impression stream. We've been doing a few of these. Been having a lot of fun with them. And this one is a game that I'm particularly excited about. Lots of reasons I'm excited about it. But one reason, just to put it on your radar right now, is because there's a Kickstarter coming out for this game. I should put that link. I should grab that link so that we have it. There's a Kickstarter for the print run for Navathem's End. The print run of it coming up real soon. I'm gonna put it in chat. I'm gonna keep putting this in chat because people should go follow this. Get the print version of this very awesome looking game. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. Whew. Whew. That's a good cover. That's a good cover. Big spooky book in the sky. Dissolving compass thing. Interesting adventurer. Welcome to Navathem's End. Very excited about it. Sin and Pam are two delightful individuals, two wonderful people, incredible designers. Just like awesome work coming from them all the time. They're kind, they're great, and so I'm so excited. So to give a little perspective, I don't know if there's like a history lesson in this book or not, but like this book, the designers are from the Philippines, and the Philippines is not, you're not allowed to run a Kickstarter in the Philippines. One of the many reasons Kickstarter is a huge bummer sometimes. And so other individuals came together to help make this a reality, fund the digital release of the game. And now that's kind of happening again for the physical version of it, which is that link that I put in chat. Super awesome to see that happening. Now, before we dive in, again, I haven't looked at this game at all. I'm excited to flip through it, learn all about it. Here's the thing to note, though. This is easily the biggest game that I've ever done, like a flip through or an first impressions or a review or anything. It's a long game, 228 pages. We will not read the whole thing, obviously. That would take us quite a long time. But I want to breeze through it. I want to get through it, see the cool stuff. So this will probably be a longer one. Might even have to take a break halfway through. But I'm very excited to dive into this, and so I hope you're cozy. I'm cozy. I got my comfy clothes on. I'm ready to read a game. Mr. Squarepeg says, I'm building a small 3D printed tank battalion right now. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a cool way to pass the evening. All right, Sin and Pam, what do you got for us? It's the credits page. Lots and lots of people were involved in this. Oh, I didn't realize Paladin did the layout. That rocks. I got to meet Paladin in real life at PAX. It was great. Paladin runs up to my table, shouts gamers, and then pretends to flip my table. It was great. Excellent. What a great cast of people. Hyperlinked PDF, better than a lot of stuff I do. Lots and lots of things going on here. I'm excited to get into this and see what all this is about. Oh, cool. Kickstarter rewards, like bonus stuff at the end. Acknowledgements. Oh, cool. Thanking everybody that was kind of involved with it, playtesters and things like that. And then, yeah, Sandy Pug, who helped run the Kickstarter, the first one. Is this game more combat focused or narrative focused? I don't know. I don't know. I'm reading it now for the first time. I think there's certainly elements of both. Because what I do know about it is that it is, yeah, you can see it down here. It's got PbtA stuff going on. It's got Forge in the Dark stuff going on. There's a few different systems that are being woven together here. So I'm excited to see what that synthesis looks like. It's cool to see the bakers get a thanks for the Apocalypse World stuff. Because, like, so many people have made PbtA things, and then, like, the bakers made all that possible. So it's really good to see the bakers get... I mean, John Harper, obviously, folks know him from Forge of the Dark, but it's good to see the bakers get their thing. Here we go. Navathem is a world of ice, bathed in fire, and stitched together by lightning. Wild, war-torn, forlorn, much like its people. Ooh. Everybody's got something they're fighting for. All right, but there's something else dawning on the horizon. The singing portals over the skies of the continent of the five have been humming their low tunes louder and louder. The old gods, fuck, I love old gods so much. Yes, old gods laying asleep in the continent of the sun watch the horizon, as if their glowing eyes see cryptic signs from that. Holy shit! I don't know. I'm into this. A fear has begun to creep into people's hearts. Will the times of chaos, capitalized, return? This is a great piece of art, too. Who did a lot of the interior art and stuff like that? Borg did the cover art. Colossus art. Environment. Oh, we got a bunch of different artists. I love that. Love having a bunch of different artists. Splash art. Sick. Some also say that the Chronicler, a historian that lived over 1,000 years ago, has returned. Has he come back to vanquish the chaos like how he and the Core 7 did before? They say he promises wonders to those who answers his call. Will you answer him? I certainly will. Alright, welcome to Navathem's End. I'm really bad at ends and M's, so I'm gonna keep saying Navathem End. I apologize. Navathem's End. Not very good at speaking. Navathem's End has many sources of inspiration, like we said. PbtA, Forge of the Dark. Before, it was a homebrew world built for... Oh, that's sick! This was a homebrew game that they were playing. Like the setting. The campaign that Sin was running. That's awesome! That's super cool! Oh no! Oh! Sin and Pam are here! How very exciting. How very exciting. Thank you for cheers. I'm very new to Twitch, so I don't know what that means, but it sounds great. I appreciate it. This is sick. I didn't realize that this was campaign setting that you all transformed into a game. That rocks. Setting's present day is a fantasy mix of several cultures. There's a lack of racial borders. You can be in a big city that initially looks like mythical Europe, but weaving through the alleys and turning a few corners. Steampunk downtown Philippines. Hell yes. Oh, it's money. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I didn't know what it was. Thank you. Thank you so much. Steampunk downtown Philippines sounds awesome. It's been I've been to the Philippines once, a long time ago. It was very cool. I'd also love to see a steampunk version of it. I also just love huge cities that can be whatever they want, obviously. Yeah, Tanksteen, I'm a fake gamer. I don't understand Twitch. It's a hodgepodge of everything. Super into that. Where in the Philippines did I go? I pretty much stayed in Manila the whole time. We did one very long drive. It was like 14 hours to like the northernmost part to a beach, but then it had stormed, so the beach had a bunch of debris, so then we just drove back. So that was a bummer. But we mostly stayed in Manila. There's this compass clock thing again. Yeah, I love the art. Yeah, I don't remember the name. It was like, wow, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago at this point. It was a long time ago. Maybe even longer. It was a beautiful beach. It was just also covered with debris from a storm. And we're like, oh, well, it's a nice looking beach. Let's go back. Present day begins 800 years after the times of crisis. Okay, so there's our capital T, capital C. Terrell Point, where a cult had awoken a god, love it, tethered to the very essence of magic. Tearing the veil, unleashing chaotic energy, magic, where before the continents teemed with its power, began to fade slowly. Ah, the old drain, mage drain sort of thing going on. Alright, so the Age of Chaos is a time where magic is lost. Led by a prophecy revealed within an old chamber of primal god, the Core 7 band of heroes became the hope. Cool. The name Core 7 was a title given to these heroes after the chaos. They were not known as such during all these years of turmoil. Yeah, a little honorific afterwards. Core 7 were the most prominent faces of the resistance, but there are some records that show the heroes stood up against the cult everywhere. Sweet. Age of Light. So we had Times of Chaos, Age of Light. However, the scars of the Times of Chaos permanently changed. Days are shorter. Ooh. Anomalous weather. Love that. Many souls remain unable to find their way to the endless stream and eternal rest. We got some ghosts. Last major upset Navathem experienced was the Mockingbird's Age. Oh, I love that name. A proud mage whose names and methods have been long awakened the colossals, gigantic old gods. Fuck yes. Walked the continents even before the humans did. These terrible god monsters terrorized the already beleaguered continents. I love the Mockingbird's Age. I want to live in the Mockingbird's Age with the old gods. Oh shit, there's a bunch of stuff going on back here. Oh, the apocalypse is closer than you think. So foreboding. Creation of the Towers. Some years back, strange monsters. Excellent. The Triumvirate established the towers. Cool. Agents pledge your oath to one of these towers. Protect the light, stare chaos in the eye, and be at ease, for you are stronger than any apocalypse. Breakthrough agents. Enjoy! I will. What do you need? Alright, we got character playbook. Ooh, I recognize this font. I love this font. Printable versions. Love that. Hubris. Everyone in Navathem has hubris in their blood. Born of the many wars and the chaos that the land has experienced. What does this really mean? An apocalypse is just over the horizon. I love that. I love that you're inviting people to come to the game with hubris. Respect for the game, playmates, sense of empathy, respect for safe spaces. Love to see all of that. I love also that hubris gets a call out. Alright, what do you need? Setup, table, 3 to 5 players, and 1 game master. That's the ideal number. Session 0 setup, excellent. Talk about all the stuff. Create characters. Talk about your table's tower. So those towers that were mentioned before, those like things that the agents pledge themselves to. It seems like maybe we choose one. Based off of them saying that this is about, or synthesizes like PbtA and Forge of the Dark. Here's my first guess. Might be totally wrong. I feel like a tower is maybe like the crew in Blaze in the Dark. That's a guess. Who knows? We'll find out. Starting point and missions. Open the table, begin play. Determine EXP, XP. Your characters gain XP whenever that you fail a roll. There's your PbtA. And whenever you roll too high. Ooh. So too high is an interesting idea. I mean, first of all, that you gain XP from it is cool. But the fact that you can roll too high is neat and immediately not what I imagine when I think PbtA. Like, you hit that 10 plus, you're good, you're golden. Very good. Then you debrief, and then you do this thing. Creating your character. Choose an agent designation. Get 7 to choose from. Each has their own set of lists. You can only select, you can select 1 skill from this list. After gaining 10 XP, you can gain another skill and add a point. Oh, cool. Maybe we went to the same place. That's neat. I miss the food. That's what I miss. I mean, the food was... whew, delicious. Ridiculously good. Choose your origin. Select a quirk. I love that these are bolded. Helps you understand that they're like important things. Oh, it's back. Hubris. Determine your hubris bond. As an agent of the tower, you're tied to one of the heroes of the core set. Oh, cool. So like there's these ancient heroes, right? Or I don't really know how ancient they are, but these heroes, right? And they're like the known entities, the 7 people that saved the world. And you bond yourself to one of them. In some way, through your hubris. I love that. Grew up on stories of them, come from the same place of them, or where they revere them as even a saint or a god. Interesting. That's really interesting. Chronicler's notes. Origins are discussed on the tables because the different characters are typically already connected to each other before they even come together for the first session. They may come from the same thing. Cool. Love that, right? Let's just get the game going. Let's all know each other. The 3 attributes: Crown, Blood, and Will. Ooh, Crown and Blood are great names for attributes. Blood, built around concepts of self-determination. Not just about physical strength, it's about pushing the limits of your faculties. And obviously we interpret as your belief in yourself. My hubris. My pride. Excellent. Tenacity. Crown. There's your mind, solving puzzle, analyzing situations. Excellent. Those who are inclined to this attribute are the great thinkers. Cool. Will. The 3rd attribute is intuitiveness. When there's a will, there's a way. Absolutely. If Blood is being aware of one's assets and how to use it, Will is in the implementation of said assets. Sick. Sick. How the dice work. All right, here. This is what I'm really curious about because it's a hybrid, right? It's a hybrid, or at least they've said that there's a combination of PbtA, Forged in the Dark, and this was a homebrew of a D&D campaign. So I don't, maybe there's even some elements of the Dragon game that's made its way into this. I'm curious to see how the mechanics work. 6-sided dice. All right. Roll a number of d6 and then see if you hit within the targeted range. So that's that PbtA thing, right? I mean, it's Forge of the Dark too, but we'll see about. They already mentioned going too high, so now I'm really curious. Ranged failures and success. All right, here's our thing. 2 to 5. Oh, it's to 5. That's interesting. This is interesting. It's 2 to 5 and then 6 to 9. In a what you typically see in a PbtA game is it's 2 to 6, and then 7 to 9, and then it's 10 plus. But we're seeing some changes here in the scale, which is cool. So 2 to 5, that's the bad one. That's no good. 6 to 9, it works, the sort of. Great. 10 to 13 is the sweet spot. So it's 10 plus, but only plus to a certain degree. Go to 13, you succeed. More than that, you get a little something extra. Cool. Oh, and some moves give you some bonus stuff. This is fucking awesome. I love this. 14 plus, you overshot it. You succeed, but something else happens. It may not always be good. Roll in the threads table. Cool. I love that. I love that so much. Because, this is a thing that I have run into with any game, right? Where if you've got a good stat, you're going to always try to find a reason to roll that good stat all the time. But if your, good stat is too good, it could bite you in the butt. That's hubris. That's hubris, right? Hubris is excessive pride, right? And what ultimately burns you, right? And so I think that's a really cool way. It's not an overtly said, but it's absolutely hubris. Yes. We did it. We got there. We made the connection. Failed rolls, you get that XP, and then you also get the XP when you fail from going too high. Cool. Dice bonuses. All right, so yeah, here's how we get to, because with D6, I'm gonna assume that you're probably rolling 2, but we'll see. How do you get to these numbers? +1, -1. Cool. Excellent. All right, means when it indicates that you add to effect, it means that when you roll, determine first within what range. After that, choose which tier you would rather have. Oh, that's actually very clever and good, right? You can, because of the way that the ranges work, that you can decide whether or not to what range you want to land in. That's cool. Add to dice, get some more in D6. If you ever roll less than 2d6, roll with disadvantage. Advantage and disadvantage, probably the things that we're used to. Yeah. Right? Disadvantage 2d6 twice and take the lower. Advantage means a collection. Interesting. When you roll with advantage, you roll the pool twice. Yeah, okay. So what we would expect with advantage and disadvantage. Love it. Sample of play. Immediately helps you. We won't read it because we got things to read. Advantage in token as tokens. Oh, they stack. Cool. I like that. I like that. Rather than like you have it's on or off sort of thing, you accumulate momentum of sorts. Or fatigue and its advantages and disadvantages. Cancel each other out. You can cash them in. Excellent. You can cash in multiple advantages for a single roll. You can treat them like rerolls. Love that. Ooh, your advantage tokens reset to 0 at every dawn. It's a new day. Excellent. Oh, I love the examples of play. That's great to have that. Moves and skills, right? General moves and conflict moves are going to be your two types of sets. If you're familiar with PbtA games, right? Moves they're everything, right? They are the fuel of the game. We have our moves, conflict moves. So like conflict moves are going to show off your character's prowess. Skills grant agents a way to get resources that other agent designations may not. They may grant you bonuses to your rolls on top of the bonuses that your attributes already give. And see, if you stack like your skills bonus with your attributes bonus, that's how you get into trouble. That's how you get into trouble and roll too high. They're meant to show off how designations are specialized. I think it's meant to show off your hubris. That's great art. That's great art. All right, your character. Creating your character. What the hell is the name of this font? I've seen it and I love it, and I can't remember. All right, you had a life before the tower, but not anymore. You're an agent now. Your origins color or outright define your motivations. Become pick one and talk about it. Excellent. You can modify and combine these origins as needed. Love it. Agent's Guide to these feral continents. Ooh, I love this map. I love this map. I want to know if there's a bigger picture of this map because I'm just such a sucker for maps. I think they're cool. I want to make like a good map in one of my games finally. This is a good map. A playtester of ours has said that playing this game is like playing a resource management game. Oh, that's sick. That is 100%. Just put that into my veins. I'm falling more and more in love with like concepts of resource management in my RPGs. It's the board gamer in me. I just like gamey game sort of stuff. I like my tokens that I cash in for specific actions and stuff. Feels good. There are maps later on. Wonderful. Born and bred. Okay, so character origins are the. Okay, so these are the origins. We're not gonna read all of them because, like I said, we can't read the whole book. We'd be here all night. It's a good long book, and I want you to be able to read it for yourself. But we should read like one or two of these just to get a sense. Born and bred. You grew up in your tower's home city. Cool. So you've been around the tower your whole life. Quirks. Choose one of the three listed. Let's see what these quirks are if you were from here. I know these streets and I know the people that live here. They are family to me. Define family. Cool. Love that. And tell the family who your tell the table who your family is. The idea of losing my home scares me. Whenever anything dares to threaten it, I get a little hostile. Cool. Talk about a time when you felt like you almost lost your home. I identify greatly with my city because my roots run deeply through the pavement, these houses, these city walls. No matter where I go, I carry the pride of my home with me. Tell the table about a thing that you do to show your love for your city. Sweet! That's awesome. And then here's your EXP questions, right? So you get XP at the end of you know, at the end of PbtA games and Forge of the Dark games and stuff like that, usually at the end of a session, you ask questions of your characters, and it's how you get experience. So here's, if you answer yes, you get to mark some XP. Did your quirk play into the session? Did something affirm your loyalties and affection to the city or challenge it? Did you use your street smarts and knowledge of the city help with today's tower operations? Cool. Resident of the Keep. What is the keep? Keeps are under the jurisdiction of the closest city. Okay, so it's a keep. It's a keep of what I probably should have assumed what a keep was. Keep. Excellent. Royal Military or Castle Guard. 3 major dynastic lines, each located on one of the continents. Sonnet in the 5, Icerim in the Frost, and Soldale in the Sun. Sick. You're from one of these. So just quickly looking at these EXP, like it's what you see like in a lot of PbtA games, right? Like a lot of them are like, did your vice cause you trouble? Right? Did your quirk come into play here? Did your and then these are like the ones that are specific to the origin. Did your familiarity with the nobility assist your tower? Did echoes of your service come back to haunt you? That's a great question. That's a good question. Street rat, riff raff. Oh, that's interesting. Child of an upheaval. There's some great origins in here. Did something about your past pave the way for figuring a mystery out? Ooh, that's cool. Interesting. There's the cult. Oh, are we a cult? I want to be a cult so bad. Who knows what could be hiding in those wagons among the produce? Interesting. Can't trust the traders because of the cultists. Power mongrel. The family tribute. How many? There's a lot of these, which is awesome. You have like a lot of ways to diversify where everybody's coming from then, right? So it's not like if there's like 5 of them, you're gonna get some overlap. The family tribute. Wait a minute, what does this mean? Though many families would never admit to this, many families choose to send their children off to the tower, hoping to benefit from the... Whoa! Oh, you are a tribute. But this is an interesting thing here. Whatever the case, you found the arms of the tower to be warm and inviting. I like that. I like that. At least here you are wanted. We have a lot of origins. We even have origins that are specific to the continents. That rocks. Spirit Chaser. I mean, yeah, for sure. Hubris bonds. This is what I wanted to get to. Tell me about this hubris. Tell me about it. Being an agent means understanding that the tower is established beneath the shadow of the Core 7's legacy. Each of the 7 had their own ideals, but they saved the world from the chaos because they managed to come together and respect each other's differences. Alright. For every affirmative response, give yourself 1 experience point. At the end of a session, there's some questions. Whoa! Oh, I'm like, just like maybe finally realizing it now. Is this the chronicler that's mentioned? And like, is that the person at the front? The big book? I think that might be a chronicler now that I actually pay attention. That's my guess. Chronicler! All I had to do was turn the page. Chronicler is the most mysterious hero among the 7. Sick. He possessed a journal where they wrote down everything that happened during the chaos, including their strategies against the cult. To this day, there are many who believe it exists. You gotta get your hands on that thing. You absolutely gotta get your hands on that. Trust in what you know. You can only control what you know. Trust that what you know will carry you and that you laid the groundwork for those plans. Did I not leave anything in the plan to chance? Okay, cool. Oh man, are we gonna get art for each one of these? Because that's amazing. I think this is probably the rose, right? Because this is the rose right here. I was right. Ah, I'm so good at guessing things. Galda Pure Fist, the rose. There's art for each. Was a stretch goal. Oh, I'm so glad that that stretch goal got hit because this art rocks. Galda Pure Fist, the rose. Born Mage, love it. Belonged to a proud noble family, known for its philanthropy. Patron saint and martyr of tacticians. Cool. I love that. When you go to fight, don't rush in thinking you've got everything in your palm, even when you believe that you have the upper hand. Did I approach a mission with care and gather my assets wisely before jumping in? Yeah. Sin went ham on finding artists for the whole book. A lot of them were Global South talent that we wanted to highlight somehow. That rocks. That's super cool. Wow. What do we think this person's all about? I think it's a big bowl of soup, but it's obviously not. But it would be cool if it was. Teldor Emissara, Exalted Arch Sentinel. Cool. Greatest regrets was feeling that too many people sacrificed themselves so that she might live. Oh, that's going to be rough to live with. To this day, she is revered as the people's champion. Shields and weapons across. Gotcha. We got a warrior going on here. Oh, simple milkmaid led a prison break to escape the cult's clutches. Sick. That I choose actions that directed towards shining the light towards others. I don't know who I would be so far. Oh, this dude rocks. This dude rocks. Hammer, forge, smith. That's my guess. Yes, I'm so good at guessing things. Jerem Oakencoat, Heart of the Forge. Legendary crafter who made weapons that the Core 7 used to fight. Nice. Something I created used for the greater good of those around me. Love the greater good. Whoa. Wow. Her hair is on fire. That rocks. Tempest Stiltere. I'm so bad at fantasy names. I'm sorry. Magister Healer was the last to join this Core 7. She was the final piece to a prophecy that the heroes were trying to decipher. Cool. Unassuming frail girl trapped on a pirate ship. Hell yeah, she awakened to her magic on deck during an intense battle. Good for you. Good for you. Tempest. Did I preserve someone's honor, good name, life during the session? Did I place my fate in another's hand during the session? Cool. Oh, look at this. Look at this knight. Ansel, the blade. Called the blade for a reason. Charismatic, flashy, flourishing weapons. This looks like the kind of guy that would be charismatic and flashy with his sword. That's good art for that. That's very good. Stronghold of the 5, despite the fact that it... Ooh. Did I throw myself into a fight with no hesitation? You better believe it, this game's about hubris. Of course I did. Of course I did. Always prepare a backup plan. I approach adversity with all the ways that make me a weapon, both through violent or non-violent means. Oh shit, I was not keeping track. I think this might be number 7. And she rocks. This person rocks. Whoever this person is rocks. They're like a cool angel person. But like a crow wings. Which you know me, I'm a crow person. Hela of the Black Wings. This is who I choose. I choose this person. I don't need to know anything about them. I just choose her. Offered to be Hela's teacher. Unfortunately, Hela never got to see the light. She sacrificed. Oh, she's dead. You sacrifice yourself in order... I assumed that all probably dead, actually. Sacrifice yourself in order to seal away a massive monster that was overpowering the core 7. Interesting. Did I openly accept my duties for the mission? Did I exhibit resourcefulness throughout the mission? Did I make the jump despite not... Yeah, this is who I want to... This is who I assigned myself to. 100%. This person rocks. Tower bonds. So we have our origins. We have our hubris bonds. Pretty popular pick. I mean... yeah. Right? Sick crow warrior. I mean, I can't imagine anything I would want to be more in life. Tower bonds. Alright, so we got another set of bonds here. Every tower has masters and wardens, people who serve as guides and caretakers for the agents. Alright, irreplaceable part of your life. Players gain experience points through meaningful interactions with tower masters and tower wardens. Similar to Hubris bonds, you must choose 2 tower masters or tower wardens that you have a special relationship. One will be your peak, and the other is your shadow. Your peak is a tower master you uphold above the others. Your shadow is whose influence colors all your actions as an agent. That's cool. That's super cool. I'm really into that. Agent designation, playbooks. Yes. All right, playbooks. It's a PbtA game. Learn about playbooks. Cool. Tools. The crafter. Excellent. Crafter. You're probably going to want to work with that forge dude. Of course, you don't have to. The crafter is comparable to the alchemist, the artificer, the engineer, and the blacksmith. Oh, for other games. That's a really nice touch. That's a really nice touch. Just be like, listen, we're going to make our own playbooks. We acknowledge that this might not be your first RPG of all time. You've probably come from somewhere else. You've probably seen these things before. You've probably seen a blacksmith. Would you like to be a blacksmith? That's great. So every playbook has their starting spread for the attributes, and then they have the skills. Every time you gain 10 XP, you have the option to purchase another skill. Oh, so you're choosing. Am I gonna put my XP into the skill? Am I gonna get another point on my spread? Being subsumed in a world of infinite designs has a way of changing your perspective. Twice per day, you may use Crown in place of Blood or Will for one of your moves. I love things like this, like once per day, once per session, once per scene. I love that stuff. Look at that. Look at that crafter. Lots of... Oh, shit, there's a ton of skills. I've already forgotten because I'm not good at remembering things. I think you start with some of these. I think you get to choose some of these that you start with, and then... You obviously, like in a PbtA game, you get access to more of them, right? You consider destruction as an art form. Yeah. The command. Cool. You know, sometimes even other commands won't have answers to this question. The skills are my fault. I was inspired by Forge in the Dark and how abilities let you hack the system. Oh, 100%. I'm into that. Like, I love wild abilities and things like that. It's what made me fall in love with like Spire when I first read it, and it was like, oh, once per session you get to do this thing that is just wildly out of the scope of what you would normally be able to do in the game. Cool, awesome, love that. And just seeing games have that stuff I like that a lot. Command is nice and balanced. Let's read a... Look at that command. Oh, flipping around the chess piece. Spire is so cool. Let's read Relax You're With Me. Your presence is both compelling and calming when it is time to roll for threads without something that was mentioned earlier. You may choose to either re-roll yours or someone else's threads, potentially shielding someone from trouble. Love it. The control. Charismatic one. Ah, excellent. The silver tongue. You're the rogue, the bard, things like that. You're gonna have more will for sure. Look at that smooth talker. Those aren't your keys. You got those keys from somebody else. Almost certainly with your smooth talking. That is a cool thing going on right there. Let's talk civil. When using the move Stay True to Your Name, your roll gets +1 to its effect with the assumption that your background is helping you clear the air. Nice. The medic. Cool. Oh shit, you're not good at blood at all. You had a -1. I think that's the first time I've seen a -1 in the starting distribution. But you have a fuck ton of will. So you're really good at that. Look at that medic. Oh, that rocks. Look at all these potions that they've got going on. That's so good. That's so good. Fate Weaver, that's a great name. Anticipating escalating danger is a skill that medics are treasured for. You may use one step ahead with advantage. I'm assuming these are names for like general moves and stuff. Sick. Vile poison. What? Wait, I want that. I want a small sleep grenade. The chaos has brought many strange monsters in the world, many of which are monstrosities that only agents are capable of facing. The Scholar. Sage. Arcanist. You got a big old brain. Of course I'm right. That's a good name for a scholar thing. Of course I'm right. Obviously. History has its eyes on us. It's all clear now. These are good. My hubris will care. These are good names. Whoever named these skills. Pam, you said the skills are your fault. I'm blaming you for these great names then. They're great. The shield. When hope is low and the world seems dark, they look to you. It's in the night or paladin. Good blood, good will, not so crowny. Sick. Very sick. Oh, that's like your tower pin. Were they all wearing something like this? They were. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, you have like a tower pin or something to show that you're an agent. That rocks. That's a nice touch. The weapon. Ooh, the weapon. Hungry Blades. Beautiful destruction is something you're uniquely capable of wreaking upon your opponents. Twice per session, consider 14+ results, which are normally not so good. Or, you know, they can cause a little trouble for you. On the move, go in, fangs out is 10 to 13. Ah, nice. Because sometimes you go a little hard, but for you, it's okay when you go a little hard. Yes. Well, that's an awesome weapon. Tragedy of mages and magic. That's right, because magic got sucked away in the time of chaos. Drained away. Age of Light was not so hopeful. Mages were persecuted. Oh. Well, that's a bummer for them. Most humanity else had the tendency to fear them, believe that they were not actually human. Oh, they thought they were responsible for the chaos. Those poor mages. How to build a mage. This is an optional set of playbooks. If you wish, you can let your character become a mage as part of their story. Oh, that's cool. So mages are so, pardon me, they're so rare in the setting, or they're not as common in the setting, that this is sort of removed from the typical playbooks to show you, look, you can do this if you want. And if you put a magic user in a section of playbook, someone's gonna choose it, right? You put a Jedi as an option, someone's gonna choose a Jedi. But like by setting it aside here, you go, look, you can do this if you want, but it's atypical. You need to understand the implications of what it means to be a mage compared to all these others. And you could maybe have this be something that happens with time or progresses. I think that's cool to set it aside like this. Awakened mage or a born mage. I am mage-born. You also need to gain 10 EXP first before you can buy a mage blade. Oh, cool. So you can't even start with this. You gotta buy your way into it. The tragedy of your awakening. Oh, this is cool. There's some nice tables on this. So that was if you were Battleborn. Here's your Awakened Mage. Consequences of your Chaos. Mages refresh their Chaos points at the beginning of the in-game day. Oh, and we're keeping track of day because Dawn messes with your advantage tokens. So days matter in this game. These points are what help you make Chaos magic. Ooh. The only way to refresh Chaos points is to sleep. However, some mages can harness their hubris to refresh their pool at cost. Fuck yes, they can. Obviously, we can do that. These skills aren't prescriptive. Chaos sources. All right, so you're gonna choose like maybe where you get your thing. 5 primary chaos sources: biochaotic, fulgur chaotic, pruinic chaotic, pyrochaotic, and telechaotic. I can guess what like 2 of them are. I'm very excited to learn about these chaos sources. Ooh, cool, a melty chessboard. Biochaotic. Tease magic in everything that lives. All the way to how cells work and everything like that. They're rare. Rarity is due to the imperceptible nature of manipulating organic matter. So then they're going to have their own set of skills. Awesome. But there are costs, right? So we didn't see costs in the things above because those are your standard playbooks. But the mage playbooks, they're going to have these costs, and this is the chaos points that you have to spend in order to do this thing, which is really cool. Biochaotics can greatly boost the healing prowess of the medic. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. It's like directly connects to one of the other playbooks. That would be cool if like suddenly you just realized that you were like you awakened as a biochaotic mage and there was a medic in your group and you're like, guess what? We're best friends now. Yes, some eyeballs in a jar. That is really, I love this art. There's oh, you can revive the dead. Perform harness hubris. Wow. There's so many cool things involved in being a mage. The walking storm. Cool. Summoning a storm also entails self-control. The storm is like a manifestation. We'll go down swinging. Sometimes you gotta share the chaos around. I know the way your blood flows is so threatening and condescending. It's great. Yeah, that's a good line right there. That's a really good line. Little bit of mischief. You're just a little bit of mischief. Look at that storm mage. Wow. This is really cool. You can change the weather in a small area. Wow, for 9 points, you could just change a whole city's weather system. I'm super, super into that. Umbral Touch. That's a name that I'm into. You extend your chaos, imposing your will upon devices or machinery. You can control them as though they were alive. Yeah, you're the storm mage, right? You empower them with your electricity. Fuck, I don't know. How am I supposed to choose what to be in this game? There's too many options. There's too many good options for me. And I mean, just thinking about it for a second here, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not going to do the math, but think about the math of all the different combinations you can end up with when you're choosing your different bonds and your origin and the playbooks. There's so many interesting ways that your character can come about, like different combinations. I think that's awesome. Intensity of the frost. So we got frost, nature, storm. Great. Your chaos is sharp, beautiful, and dangerous. Nice. Chaos protected. Sometimes the chaos moves to protect its wielder before the mage themselves can even detect that danger is incoming. You're about to receive harm greater than 2 levels. Ooh, that's an indication of the Forge in the Dark influence right there. You can choose to suddenly have your chaos react. Then we got fire. Fight me, coward. At any point that an enemy attempts to flee or draw its attention away from you, you can spend chaos points per enemy to deny them. I love the idea of this person just screaming, "Fight me, coward." It's a great image. My hubris ablaze. These names are so good for these skills. Telechaotic. Bending reality. Hell yeah. Dethrone our gods. Reach for power. Sometimes you have to take fate into your own hands. You can grant a single individual advantage on any rolls for an attribute of their choice for the whole day. Whoa. You bled for those names. They're good names. Wow. Oh, here's our... I think this... I'm in love with this art. Like, the others, they're all like, here's my storm powers, here's me crafting snowflake, and here's me summoning, like, the fire. And then this guy's like, I control reality. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. And things are gonna go to the way that I want them to go. Time Mage. This is good. This is really good. And here we hit our moves, right? Moves, it's a PbtA game, so it's gonna be your typical moves that we would see. We've already seen some of them referenced in some of the skills and stuff that we have seen earlier up in the document. We're not gonna read all the moves again, and we're also not going to read about how moves work. If you're familiar with PbtA games, you're probably pretty familiar with how this works. There's general moves, and then there were I think the conflict moves were the other ones. Yeah, roll 2d6, do your attribute, see where you land on that now interesting window of a range that you're shooting for. General blood moves. Oh, right. I was like, blood moves. Blood is one of the attributes. So these are the moves that are related to blood. Got it. Make the hero's choice, leaning into the legacy of the hero, the 7 that you... oh, cool. So you choose the 7 and you just be like, what would my hero do in this moment? And then you do it. So I want to read some of these 14 pluses. All actions have consequences, and the consequences that come from the hand of a hero are the heaviest. You got what you wanted, but it has come at a great cost for the people around you. Your tower will be harmed, your actions will save the day, but will grant an adversarial force. Ooh. Fellow agent will be harmed. I love that so much. I love the 14 plus complication stuff going on. Harness hubris, there it is. You harness hubris when your agent is pushing themselves beyond their limits in order to succeed. Make a bargain. Tell the table what it's going to cost you. If you can't think of anything, ask your GM. Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. I love that. Bare your soul, making themselves vulnerable. Then we get your crown stuff. Because, like, remember, blood is like your tenacity. Crown is your mind sort of stuff. So ready after all, you're declaring that you did something in the past that showed how you prepared. Yes. Flashback, right? It's your flashback. And I love that you called it. Think of it like a heist or an action game. Yeah, I've got this thing actually already figured out. Super into that. Bring to light. Oh, this is... Oh! Real quick, this is interesting. Unlike all the other moves, you're not rolling for this one. If it seems plausible, it works, but you only get to do it once per session. That's a cool twist on a move. Cool. You're figuring out a puzzle, work on something special, long-term project. Ooh, I'm seeing the I'm seeing your Forge in the Dark DNA starting to bleed into here. Now I'm starting to see the Forge in the Dark stuff. I was, it was very clear the PbtA stuff, but now we're seeing the long-term projects. We're seeing the clocks. Yeah. Here's our Forge in the Dark section. Cool. Stay true to your name. Attempting to use an aspect of your background to your advantage. When you join hands, your agent is assisting a comrade. As the old saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. When you refuse to yield, you can maneuver any situation to go your way. Love that. I can't wait to figure out what this thread thing is, because we've heard it a couple of times, and I'm curious to know what a thread is. You can use this to shield people. And then there's a conflict. So this is how we would engage in combat. Throwing yourself against an enemy, go in, fangs out. Via blood. Quiet them down. Thanks to the time you spent preparing for the mission, you can hit your foes a little harder. When you attack, you can take a point to your armor to ensure that your attack succeeds. There's just little bits of that Forge in the Dark that's woven throughout here that I love. It's all the stuff that I like in Forge in the Dark too. That's good. It's good stuff. Reveal their vulnerabilities. When you make the Agent's Gambit, burn all your remaining armor points. Take 2 levels of harm if you don't have any. And then you can do a cool thing. Oh, yes. Yes. Get access to things you can't normally do. Restore uses of limited skills. Those one and done things they're back. Super into this one. That's really cool. When you make others see who you are, you're attempting to attack the problem by nipping it in the bud. Burn bright. When you burn bright, you're attempting to ignore the harm you've taken from previous missions. Enduring, going through with things. Take my hubris. When you tell the world to take your hubris, fill in all the slots in your armor or loadout. This means that you won't be able to deflect any more harm. Alright? Because of your sacrifice, you get to determine how you orchestrated your foe's defeat. I love that. You're like, I sacrifice myself. I make myself as vulnerable as possible, but I do it for the team. Clover, hello. Clover is here for the stream. She's here to say hi. She's super into this game. Are you exhausted from chewing on your toy? Threads. We made it to threads. Oh, we got a redemption of the Clover cam here. Look at that happy dog. How are you? Are you a happy dog? You are a happy dog. Oh, you're also a sleepy dog. She's a sleepy, happy dog. She'll just like chew on a toy and then she gets exhausted. I'm like, why are you so tired? And then I thought, like, I guess if I tried to eat something for 3 hours straight, I would also be really tired. She's a happy dog. And she went to school today. She went to her daycare. She's gonna be sleepy. Threats. Manifestation of actions, consequences. They might be good, they might be bad. Oh. Cool. So there's 100 of these. Take a D100. Oh, I just want to roll one. That would require me to have any preparation. How do I not have a D10 handy? Ah, here we go. I just want to see a thread. So it is a 66. Your tower does not realize this yet, but the last mission you went on is relevant to a powerful legacy. Oops, sorry about that. Powerful legacy or deep mystery that was left behind by one of the core 7. That's awesome. So these are like interesting consequences that could be good, could be bad. Bye, Clover. No, sorry, I wasn't calling you back. These could be good, they could be bad, or as the thing said, they could just be what they are. These are awesome. Obviously I didn't read through the moves, but I'm guessing we're rolling on these threads as like outcomes for various moves. We saw it a few times where there were instances where these threads would be rolled. I want to roll on this all the time. 100 possible interesting things to happen? I want to definitely read that. Or like roll on that all the time. Getting hurt. We go up to level 5 in harm in terms of this instead of level like 3 in Forge of the Dark, or in Blades at least. You're gonna get your stacking worse and worse effects for you as it goes on. Pam says, I think I was the one who pushed for 100 and mildly regretted it. I like when I make a D8 table, I'm like, fuck, why did I do this to myself? I have to come up with 8 things. Who can come up with 8 things? Not me. 100 is amazing. Harm and condition only happens if you have a medic or that biochaotic mage. Healing. So you gotta get some healing, right? You gotta go help yourself. Here's your armor thing, your armor slots. Subtle, moderate, heavy, very similar to Forge in the Dark, so you wear what would like make sense for the thing. It's interesting. I'm curious, like, because like in Blades you wear light armor because you're walking around the city and you don't want to be obviously wearing a grappling hook set and stuff like that. I wonder the subtle armor, right? Like, I'm trying to think of like scenarios where you would wear the subtle armor in this, right? Why, as you're going on adventures, because like, yeah, I mean, if you have to go like talk to people, right, and you're wearing like a bunch of armor, they might be scared to talk to you, right? They might be hesitant to talk to the big tower agent. But if you wear subtle armor, people would probably be more willing to talk to you. Here's your XP. We talked a lot about how you get XP, questions, rolling poorly, things like that. Fill those gauges up and you can get access to stuff. I thought I had the character sheets pulled up. I don't. I'll find them later. Failing forward. Base XP is XP gained outside of missed and overshot rolls. Peak, hubris. They pertain to any noteworthy events. Oh wow, there's even more. Cool. Determine base XP. Answer these. For each one you mark yes. Did you advance a plot seed? Did you connect somebody? Did the more of the world get revealed? Love this stuff. That makes you want to go do these things, right? Yeah, typically you go for subtle, deep, and populated areas. Same wavelength. I love that. Here's your Blades in the Dark thing. Your whatever gauge you're filling up, that's the one that you're going to put points into, like increasing attributes, skills, veterancy. We've seen that stuff. What is veterancy? They're filling in this. Choose an ability from this list. Even more abilities. How did you write all of this? How did you write all of this? It's so impressive. I can't imagine writing this many skills. It's incredible. So these have tiers. Flame Soul. What is Flame Soul? You're a deep well of potential, and you can draw immense amounts of power from the depths of your soul in challenging moments. For the number of times equal to your blood attribute, you may re-roll a raw blood roll of your choice. You may keep the better result. This is applicable to skills that require you to roll for blood, but cannot be used to re-roll moves. Damn, it's a powerhouse. Heartspurn is one. Lightning Bringer. That's your will one. There's so many of these. This is incredible. The Windback. In the event that the group doesn't like the events that happen in a scene, they can choose to pause and discuss instead how things go. That's super cool. It's called a Windback. Might help you because you might have missed something from session 0. This is great. I love this idea. Our playtest group found a Windback every 3 months helpful your mileage. Love that. I love just that quick designer note. Like, this is something that you might not have seen before, or you're not familiar with this concept being in a game. Here's what it is. Here's why it exists, and we've used it, right? We didn't just make this up. We found this useful. It's cool. Prep, investigations, missions, and the Fallout. So now I'm seeing the Forge in the Dark. Now I'm seeing more of the Forge in the Dark, right? You got that prep stage, figuring out what it's gonna be. You have some investigation, you gathering information, plotting it out, and then you go do the thing, right? You go out there and do some cool mission that you're on. Awesome. A chase between a party of 5 agents and 3 monsters begins. Love that examples. Here you go. Here's a breakdown of how combat works in various scenarios. Each agent has 1 turn for each round. On their turn, agents have the following options. Oh, cool. This is slightly more codified than I'm used to for things like Forge of the Dark and the Power of the Apocalypse, and I like it. I'm super into that. I'm actually super happy to see this. This is cool. So these are the things that you can do, and then on your turn, you can choose like which package of things you want to do, right? So I'm gonna move twice essentially, activate a skill and do free travel. I like this stuff. And combat ends when the assailing parties come to an agreeable conclusion. I think we should stop fighting. I don't think we should do this anymore. And then you have the Fallout. Everything that happens post-mission. Awesome. 4 modes of enemies. Cool. Easy enemies. Gain the tag rounds 3. They can only have 4 tags outside of rounds 3. Whoa! I'm gonna flip this because I want to see this. The King of Dead Sea. Oh, I remember seeing this art. This art was like on the Kickstarter page, right? From like the original. I feel like I remember seeing this art. This art rocks. The skeleton of the king, ruins of the city built on this thing. Look at this. When he moves his hands, part of the ruins also moves in the direction of the hands. He likes to eat small houses. This is so cool. Now I gotta get my... There we go. You can be pretty loose, but it helped us define it. Yeah, I like that. I like loose opportunities in PbtA combat. I know for some people that really works. And then others struggle with it. So giving just some opportunity to structure it is really nice. Here's all your cool enemies. Here's their tags. Love enemy tags so much. Super into enemy tags. So yeah, there's a bunch of different... Oh my god, is there another piece of art? He sleeps. Look at that. Look at those hands. The mountain with living roots. He sleeps almost all the time. But if you wake him up, then an earthquake and volcanic eruption will begin. This rocks. What is this place? I want to go to this place. We wanted to try and find where you could go tactical granular while retaining narrative possibilities in terms of combat. Yeah, I think you did a great job with that. And I think this is great art, whoever did this. Cool. And there's just tons and tons of, oh my god. We're being blessed with art in between each of these. The Sandy Mountain. Are these the colossals? This is my guess, is these are maybe the colossals, the big horrible things that got summoned. And that's what these things are? Because these have all been consistently like living giant things. Maybe. Yes, I guessed it. They're the colossals. Quartz teeth, crushing gland. You got your classic shale stomach and your sand stomach. Birth process. Oh, I guess I could have scrolled a little bit further down and seen this. Look at that. That's super cute. It's like cute and terrifying at the same time. Yeah. Oh, that's a really cool. That's a cool thing. The art is made in the style of like an agent taking notes. That's great. Let's look at another Colossus. The desert whale. Look at these great constellations in the background. He's a sandstorm. Blah. Pairs from the stomach of the whale. The older the whale, the longer the appendages on its tail. This rocks. I also don't want to hurt the desert whale. I want to protect the desert whale. The 3 continents. Okay, so this is a bit of lore. Learn about the world. Sky flight, cool. We got flight rocks, so we can fly. We're getting like that, you know, steampunk, crystal punk sort of vibes is what I'm getting from like the art and certainly the mention of steampunk Philippines earlier. Cool. Ah, here's that map. Continent of the Frost. Continent of the Five. The Moor of Whispers. Ooh. See comets, see wyverns. Purple Channel. Continent of the Sun. Oh my god, there's even more. I gotta flip it around. Oh, this is like a more zoomed in. Alright, so now, because we saw some of these things, like I recognize Willhammer, but now we're seeing more specifics. You can get a sense of like the mountains and the forests and things like that that are going on here. I'm into this. I'm into this map quite a bit. Was this made with Incarnate? I'm just curious. That's it kind of reminds me of like the Incarnate style. It's really cool. All right, I got my rule book all flipped around. Here we go. The major cities of the Triumvirate, right? And then there's the towers. Continent of the Five. Matriarchy of the Sonnet. The mock-ups were made in Incarnate, but then cool, awesome. Matriarchy of the Sonnet. Sonnet was the first ever crown state to rise. Wow, this is cool. This is so different, this art, from what we'd seen before. It's great. We're not going to read all the lore, because, I mean, I'm going to read the lore later. We're just not going to read it here on stream. I'm such a lore world building sucker. Like, I'm going to soak up all this lore and be like, wow, I want this. I want to live in this world. Whoa, this city art is really cool. It's really neat. Frostborn are innovators. The frost is the seed of innovation. Cool. Uh-oh, Frost Civil Wars. Oh, cool. Let's zoom in on... Oh, that's upside down. Gloomwood. Here's my question. Are artists for the city stuff really knocked out of the park? Yeah, 100%. Here's my question for Pam and Sim, if you all are still here. I mean, I'm talking with Sin right now. Did you make, like, is all of this stuff from your campaign? Like, are these all places that you had create? Like, what's the percentage of the stuff that's in this world and the map, for example, that came from your campaign? And, like, how much of it is, like, new that you put into the book? Like, did your characters go to Bear Acre, for example? Because this is a GM who clearly has made a whole 100% all for the campaign. Hell yes. That rocks so much that you I mean, first of all, that you created this massive world, because that's always exciting, but that it all got translated in. If folks go for Navathem, they're free to, like, change names or whatnot, make their own thing. We strongly believe in gameable lore. I ran this world for 3 years. Wow. Wow. So I'm gonna have to, like, talk to you about that, because that's what I want to do with Oberyn, my fantasy heartbreaker game, which is based off of my campaign that I ran for like 2.5 years. And I'm so curious about, like, should I just map this whole thing over, or will people have any idea what I'm talking about? Of course they won't, but I think it would make it more exciting. And I clearly there's so much passion from your thing into this, right? Players can just do their thing and make it as much theirs as it was ours. I love that. That's great. Yeah, we're all heartbreaker makers. Breaker makers. Ooh. Ooh. There's your flying ships there in the background. These maps are great. You've planted a worm in my head. I'm gonna go, like, mess around with maps now and see if I can find my old maps, because now I'm just super into this. This is great. I love copious amounts of lore. I was reading the Avatar rule book last night, and I had no idea there was that much Avatar lore. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know. I watched the show. Like, I didn't know most of this stuff. It was really cool. Or I forgot a lot of it. It's been a while since I read it. So it was cool to be like, yeah, just put this lore right into my veins, please. I want to absorb it. Oh, what? I want to go to Turtle Town. There's a Turtle City. Scourge Cradles. Sounds like a place you probably don't want to go to. Whoa, that's cool. It's super cool. It's a steampunk whale. It's a sky pirate. A skyrit. Wow. Seaborne battle cruisers turn leviathans. Wow. A simplified timeline. Love this. Love a quick breakdown of what's going on, right? This is what you consider the canon. Make it your own. So yeah, here's the breakdown. I'm gonna guess, I don't know, my guess is that a lot of this comes from the world building, from the campaign, but also, like, events that happened during the campaign. Were the 7 the players of the campaign? Were the 7? Oh, cool. Mechanical bird. That's the mockingbird. That's the era that I want to be in. The old gods. I'm just from a quick glance through this timeline, right? Like I'm thinking, how much of this is they were NPCs? Gotcha. Like how much of this is stuff that the players in the original campaign experienced, right? Like, what did they see of all of this, or what have they heard? Ran the Mockingbird era as a campaign. That rocks. How does time work? 25 hours to a day and 30 days to a month, or 14 months. Navathem year. All right. Daylight is significantly shortened though. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hey, that sounds like Chicago in the winter. Sounds like what I'm dealing with right now. It's always gray all the time. No sun until April. Festivals. This is great. So, I mean, the book is just chock full of lore and stuff like that. And again, you can inject as much of this into your campaign as you want. It's cool to have that. Just thinking about any other, like when I play in when I play Blades in the Dark, right? Like there's a lot of established stuff that John has written, and we use a lot of that, but our players also introduce their own changes, and we reinterpret things, and I love that. Oh, Ontario, you also are dealing with the gray. The gray. Festival of the Flock. I see anything bird, and I want to know more about it. This is awesome. So there's just tons and tons of these. Love, courtship, marriage, and polyamory in the continents. Look at this. They got it all. This book has everything you could you ever want about a book. This is a true love letter to a world that somebody has put just so much time and love and care into to see it be brought in. Campaign seats. Okay, here we go. Strange occurrences, stranger monsters. It's the year 1928, and this world is in a strange state. The investigation begins with your team when a team of agents goes missing. They've been dispatched 2 weeks prior, and you're gonna go figure it out. This is great. So if you don't know where to start, grab one of these campaign seats. You begin in the city of Soldal, which is like in the fire area. I remember, I think. Great sand serpent. Oh no, I'm spooked. That the Sun Army laid waste to. Your tower masters tell you that if you do find a colossal, do not engage. This is great. So now you can just grab one of these and boom, you can just start learning about the world. Start figuring out, because it's a whole world. And sometimes when you see a game that has a whole world laid out for you, you're like, what should I do first? How am I supposed to comprehend all of this? But you're not going to see the whole world right away, right? You're going to go to one place, and you're going to be there for a while. These seeds help you. They're like, listen, friend, just go figure out that sand snake thing for us. You can go worry about the other parts later. Go do this first thing. The Gloom Road is now privately owned. Ugh. Balda's urn is missing. More sightings of the legendary Chronicler are out there. Agent's Guide to these feral continents. It has become imperative that any inspiring agent be taught the many beasts of the colossal. And now we learn about the things that we see here, right? The colossal, wildlife. This is something that I'd probably give to my players, right? If I was playing, because it's the Agent's Guide, right? This is something that I'd be like, all right, here's what you need to know. You're a capable agent in this world. Your person would have this information. This is the guide. So you know what a colossal is. They would understand the concepts of the weird weather and stuff like that. Aberration, the common beast. The dragons. Oh my god, you got dragons in here too? Dragons and humans lived in loving harmony. Until it did not. Well, bummer. Bummer. The Hell Scent. Demonic monsters, ghosts, geists, revenants, and spirits. This book's got something. Wait, your dragons created humans? I gotta go back and read this. These legendary beasts were the first creatures to ever walk, bolded, Dragons are long-lived, incredibly intelligent. Humans were given their first breath by the dragons, created by rending the very air around them with their teeth and claw and giving it shape. I just skipped to the part where we were living in harmony and forgot like why we're living in harmony. That's cool dragon lore right there. That's really cool. You got your ghosts, you got your spooky stuff. Afterlife, revival. We should probably talk about that since the bio-chaotic mage could bring somebody back to life. We're all born from their hands. That's super cool. Primordials. Things that go bump in the night. The Philippines has great spooky monsters. We were talking about this in my class the other day, and one of my students, she's Filipino, and we were talking about supernatural creatures that we're aware of or we've heard of, and she had mentioned this one about you can't point. I think she said you can't point your shoes towards the bed because otherwise a ghost will step in them and like watch you or something. And I was like, that's fucking terrifying. I would hate that. I would really hate that. Any Asian tower can be built anywhere, and it's up to you and your group to decide where it begins and where it will be stationed. Oh, so what you each other know is different because it's from different islands, very regional. That's awesome. That's super cool. So here's your tower, right? This is kind of like what I was imagining is sort of like the crew element maybe of that's what I predicted was sort of like a crew element of Blades in the Dark, where it's the thing that you're bound together by. So you play Mad Libs here and you figure out this stuff in terms of where it is, what it's all about. I love this kind of brick layout change thing. Apocalypse question mark? Maybe. Could be a bad thing. Why? The head tower master. Cool. So you're creating the people. These are the NPCs that you're gonna like consistently be in contact with because they're the ones that are running your tower. They're the ones that are giving you orders or giving you missions and stuff like that. And so you're gonna create these people, and you'll all do that together so that you care about them. Cool. So we learn about all these people. Gotta have a medic so that somebody can patch you up. You got the drill sergeant, groundskeeper, home brewery. Optional character origins. The origins of this section were inspired by the original lore. Ah, the original lore. Barghest. Yeah, heard of these dogs before. So these come from the campaign. These come from like the OG campaign, if you wanted to do that, which is really cool. I've never left my hunt. Being an agent's just another path for me to take towards my personal arc. More like my personal bark, am I right? Nailed that one. Yeah, it's a bit like having a crew for sure, agent party, but we chose not to get too into Blades by giving group abilities. Yeah, I think that's cool. I mean, you have so much in terms of the moves and skills and everything like that, that like adding in tower abilities, it would really feel like a lot. And I think you made the right call in just saying like, this is your unified place, right? It's the crew, it's the people that you care about. Exactly like you said. Barghest is gonna be a huge Witcher fangirl. Nice. Song touched. Ooh. Forever changed by their music. Cool. I'm devoted to my song. It is a sort of comfort and a voice in my sometimes lonely existence. I fear silence. That feels real. Only in that I can never be completely silent around me. I need something playing at all times, otherwise I'm stuck with my own thoughts. Can't be stuck with my own thoughts. Queen's Darling. Song touch folks literally hear music in their heads all the time. Interesting. I'm in love with the queen, that is no secret. The only problem about that is most people would rather decide that my viewpoints and decisions are colored by this love. I wish to be known for something beyond being the queen's darling. Cool. Cog in the machine. Active participant in the political machinery of the council before you became an agent. Was making sure that people continue to believe in those simple rules meant doing some terrible things in the name of greater good. Ooh, interesting. No kind way to put it. You were raised in a toxic community that is complicit in the historical revisionism and ultra-nationalistic inclinations of the Frost. You are what you are. There's no kind way to put it. That's interesting. I took on as many missions as I can because I hate who I used to be. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Hearthguard. 80% of the frost being unlivable tundra. Wow. Aurum blood. What is this? All Aurum blood can trace its lineage to one of the following: the noble house. Ooh. Fighters through and through. Even the rays of the sun throne cannot reach all corners of the land. My family learned to become its own light, shining in the dark. Sick. I know what I want to be. I want to be a moon knight. A moon knight. Lunarian knight. You are still. I want to be a moon knight. The Order has a book of names full of knight monikers that a new knight takes for themselves on the eve of their ordination. These names all harken back to the heroes of the sun, some of whom served the Core 7. Sick. I want stretch goal. Make this book of names so that I can use it. I want these names. I walked down a path formed by the deeds of all the knights who came before me. The Red Moon. Red Moon pride is forged on intersections of social class, ethnicity, and diverse spiritual beliefs. Coming from Red Moon meant that you or your family represented some aspect of Soldo that upstanding proper Sun natives did not wish to acknowledge. Then the plague came along and empowered you or your family by showing you in words and in deeds that no mortal deserved to be punished due to the accident of their birth. Interesting. The Corallinian. The Coraline Island Nation. So these are all bonus origins that, correct me if I'm wrong, these came from the campaign? These were inspired by the original campaign? Because that's super cool. The Dragoons! Oh, the dragons trusted you. Oh, you designed them for the game. Gotcha, cool. Dragoons! Bonus origins that were designed for the continents. I encountered a dragon before I became an agent. I must find them again. The Librarian Knight is such a great thing to be. Yeah. And the Final Fantasy fangirl. Had to have your Dragoons. Librarian Knight is great. Obviously, I want to be a Librarian Knight. What is the Librarian Knight all about? I get very excited over going over to recover relics and lost knowledge. My peers don't always understand, but they've learned to trust me with these things. Hey, that feels real. Librarian Knight was directly inspired by the Edge Chronicles. Nice. The Kale. Or Kale. Kale. The real reason. You are well aware of the strange and beautiful things that exist outside of the purview of most people. Oh, I think this is is this with the turtle? The turtle island? Super cool. I put it upon myself as a Kalei to tell more landlocked folks about who we are. We're not just some strange folk that live on wandering beasts. We are a collection of so much more. The histories that are just as rich as the nations of the offshore. Cool. Turtle Island. Okay. This is amazing. How many did you make? How many did you make? Sea Scourge or Sky Scourge, right? I mean, you could be a pirate. Can I be a pirate in a giant metal whale? Because I would love to do that too. I discovered a secret back home and it changed me. Being an agent means collecting knowledge that I can bring back to my cradle. Orborn. Oh, an automaton. You could be an automaton. Chaos gave you life. Yes, you could be a pirate. I see the coldness, confusion, or morbid fascination in human eyes every time I walk through the halls of the tower or along the streets in town. I want to show mortals that we Orborn are not so different from them. Talk about a moment when you were made to feel alien and wrong in comparison to human beings. People of the Farlong. The Farlong. Oops. What is this? Optional rules for play. On rolling beyond 14. We attempted to implement that every overshot roll would merit a roll. Ah, that's how we're getting these threads. Yep. Give me those threads. Now I want to roll 14 plus because I want to roll on that table every single chance I can. People often look at the Orborn and are like, near. Eventually, however, we settled for sorting our threads into 2 piles. Main quest versus side quest. Main quests were determined to be threads that seemed to point towards bigger plot lines. This is cool. I love that you have the design commentary on why you did these things. I'd love to see that in books. Dice results for higher level play. Once agents have at least 3 playbooks to their name, the consequences stated in the base range of rolls become rather trivial. May not work out well for the table. Here's a suggested table. Cool. It's a revised table based on if you become OP. Because this is definitely a thing that I have run into playing long-term PbtA games where, yeah, eventually things just kind of become trivial. It's like any game can become like that, right? Where it's just like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna do the thing. I'm extremely powerful. So it's super cool where we can be like, all right, folks, do we want to like switch the vibe, or do you want like we kind of have crossed over into like being really able to kind of accomplish anything? Do we want to be challenged, or do we want these new, maybe a little more teeth on the outcomes of these things? This is great. Still get overshot though. That's awesome. And then here's the Kickstarter rewards. NPCs and Colossals for your campaigns. Hunger of the Deep. Ooh, I'm spooked of the water. Oh, and then it has the who submitted these. And we're gonna get art for all of them. Ancient lobster shell. Gems. Oh, I'm kind of cutting it off here on the screen, but it looks great. Glimmergata. Travis. A living cave. These are the same ways. Look at this. It kind of looks cute. It kind of looks cute. The living cave. It's not so bad. The Carnelian Monarch. Get your moth butterfly things going on here. Oh, that's a terrifying butterfly. Is it made of houses? It's a... I think these are houses. They're like ladders and stuff. I think this is a butterfly covered in houses. Yeah, like here's a dock, right? And all this stuff is now on top of this butterfly. Its wings are covered with scales made of gemstones and precious metals. Interesting. Custom NPCs. Flip this around. Tasia Corwood. So these are cool people that were made as part of the... Thanks to our Kickstarter backers for working with us. Cool, so Kickstarter backers made these people. Gate Broken Song. And then they all have art too. They all have art. It can suddenly just awaken and take whatever settlement is on top of it as it flies. Huge bummer. Huge bummer. Oris. Ooh, they look great. Wow. Oris is really neat. Wow, and that's it. We made it to the end. The gods, they've gone and left us. They've waved their hands without a care for us in this world. We must let our hubris carry us. Yes, we shall let our hubris carry us. Folks, that's Navathem's end. Wow. I am super into it. I mean, what a cool game. And what, just like clearly a labor of love and passion into this. Lots of great art. I did it. I made it to the end. Lots of great art. Lots of really cool ideas. I really dig the blending of the PbtA and Forge in the Dark stuff. I love a book full of lore. Of course, I'm gonna go back and read that off stream because I'm a sucker for it. The threads thing is great. The different ranges of success and adding the hubris element in there. It's all so good. It's all so good. So if you're watching this, depending on when you're watching this, there either will be or is currently a Kickstarter happening for a print run for this game. So when this gets posted up, wherever this is posted up, there will be links to all of that in the description so that you can check that stuff out. And please do go, hey, we cheered it again. Thank you so much. Please do support this amazing game from some amazing folks. And it's going to be, I mean, you want this book. You want this printed. It's going to look great. So please do check it out. You're going to love it. Links in the description. Hell yeah.